LeBron James and Zion Williamson went at it in Sunday night's 122-114 Lakers win. In this video, we take a closer look at each of their performances. Let's start with Zion. Zion was guarded by Kyle Kuzma for most of the night. He catches the ball on the post and inside pivots with a hard rip-through going to his right. By doing this low, it gets his shoulders lower than Kuz's, and it's all over from here. He uses that lower center of gravity and superior strength to bump Kuz off and get all the way to the rim. Zion establishes his right foot as his pivot foot here and fakes the rip-through before planting his left foot. He starts to dribble just as his right foot is coming off of the ground, narrowly avoiding a travel. That gets him a small advantage on Kuz, and that's all he needs. He once again gets his shoulders low, and this time he gets by Kuz to get all the way to the rim for the throwdown. Kuz needs to get deeper in his defensive stance to have any shot to stop these, and even then it would be difficult. But Kuz did compete despite his disadvantages. He gets his shot blocked here, but goes out of his way to find Zion in transition. If he doesn't put a body on him, this is a putback dunk, but he earns the Lakers the possession instead. Zion tries to spin off for the lob here, but Kuz does a good job of not leaning on him too much. That allows him to get back and contest the lob, forcing the turnover. Here Kuz gets bounced around like a pinball but draws the charge. But there's only so much that can be done about Zion in a single coverage situation. He's a switch killer because of how strong and athletic he is. Lonzo Ball recognizes that he has a mismatch with Danny Green, and Green doesn't stand a chance. Zion is similar to Shaq in that he's nearly impossible to stop if he establishes deep position. He'll create separation with his strength and then just elevate over the top of everyone. He does a good job of bringing the ball right into the defender's chest. He'll draw some offensive fouls because of this, but if the defender reaches or doesn't vertically contest, they'll draw the foul and send Zion to the line. Markieff Morris reaches in here before catching an elbow to the face. On this one, you can clearly see how he comes up underneath Morris's arms, causing them to drop as he initiates contact. This is kind of similar to what James Harden does on the perimeter. But the Lakers were reaching in part because Zion is vulnerable to getting stripped or losing control of the ball down low. Once he gets the ball up high, there's nothing anyone can do about it, so they try to not let it get to that point. Zion tries to fake the rip-through and drive middle against LeBron here, but doesn't create separation. He then tries to drive right again to set up his drop step left, but he exposes the ball as he does, and LeBron takes it from him. Avery Bradley stunts onto Zion here, and KCP reads the passing lane for the steal and layup. In the second half, the Lakers started to double team Zion as soon as he started to dribble, and forced a couple of turnovers as a result. Zion is a terror on the offensive glass, but the Lakers did a pretty good job of limiting these opportunities. They mostly kept him out of transition as well, although he did get this layup off of a great outlet pass by Jrue Holiday. Kuz gets caught standing too upright and flat-footed here, so Zion spins off of him and elevates over the top. And he's a fantastic drive and dish finisher. He settles into open windows and gives ball handlers passing lanes, and then his athleticism takes over from there. But despite Zion's incredible game, LeBron showed how his wisdom and experience still makes him the king. Here he rocks Brandon Ingram back on his heels with a quick jab step before stepping back to drill the three over the tough contest. LeBron used another jab step to drop a three on Zion late in the fourth. He had his jumper working for him all night, including this pull-up from 40 to get a 2-for-1. He comes off of the pick and roll here and cuts in front of Ingram, keeping him behind him. This is called putting your man in jail. Then he hits the 13-footer over Derek Favors. And check out this dribble sequence. A right to left between the legs cross, then a left to right front cross. Right to left between the legs cross again, behind the back dribble, and then a hard right to left cross that beats Zion. LeBron gets his shoulders low to create separation on the bump and makes the backhanded layup. He gets all the way to the rack on this one with his patented drive left, spin right. LeBron reads Zion tagging hard on the roll man here and makes a beautiful skip pass to KCP for the three. LeBron also had several fantastic possessions on defense. The Pelicans are trying to run this play for Ingram, but LeBron moves his feet and his ball denial prevents the pass from being made. That means they have to go to their second option, and JaVale gets the block on Lonzo's drive. Then LeBron tracks the ball down to save the possession. Shout out to JaVale for his 6 swats on the night. Here LeBron cuts off Drew Holiday's drive in transition, allowing Avery Bradley to sneak in and force the turnover. He steps in to help out on Ingram here, which leads to a difficult mid-range jumper at the buzzer. Back on offense, LeBron's outlet passing was phenomenal as usual. This was a great pass, even though Bradley misses the layup. He made another cross-court outlet to Quinn Cook after the Zion turnover here. LeBron had 12 defensive rebounds in this one, which allowed the Lakers to get out in transition. They push in transition even off of made baskets. Both Zion and Favors are behind the play on the inbounds, so LeBron knows that they have no size to protect the rim. So he just backs Holiday down and gets the easy layup. He backed smaller players down a few times in this one. If they single covered him, he looked to score, as he does on this unstoppable fadeaway here. If they pressured and leaned on him, he'd use their weight against them and spin off for the layup. Here he faces up on Josh Hart and uses that same move that Zion did, faking the rip through and driving middle. And he got Ingram to bite on a step-through move on a big possession in the last 2 minutes. The Pelicans simply don't have anyone who can defend him in single coverage, so they sent double teams his way. He picked those apart with skip passes when they did. Zion versus LeBron was a matchup of superstars past, present, and future, but LeBron took over down the stretch, using his skill and experience to get the win.